Nice.
Long Blues 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Blues 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975. Too early for a Christmas video? Nah, I love Christmas. I've always loved Christmas. I've never made any secret of that. Secret, I should say. I was thinking, yeah, earlier on tonight, I was looking for a game to play, and I just, you know, like a current gen game. Can I call it current gen now? Was it previous gen 1.5? Yeah, never mind. Yeah, and I couldn't really, you know, make up my mind, but what was interesting was looking through all the games across my Wii, my Wii U, and my Xbox, and yeah, it was amazing how many of them I haven't completed. And I don't just mean I haven't completed, but I mean some of them I haven't even cracked into yet. Some of them just sat halfway through, and I also got thinking about the number of games, and I can't be alone in doing this, where not necessarily because the game is broken or boring, or you know, I've become tired of it. For, you know, not just because I need money. I've traded games in, you know, when I'm halfway through, and yeah, it's got me thinking. I mean, there's a question down there which was, you know, when games last us, you know, for weeks and not hours, and particularly one sort of time of the year that springs to mind more so than even birthdays is Christmas. Now, it's kind of a cliche to say this, but you know, less is more, so I guess that would be one argument back in the day, because you're a child, you had very sort of limited, if any, sort of you know, money, or you know, disposable income as a child, that you could spend, so you were reliant upon, you know, others, such as, you know, families and friends, and obviously Christmas would be, you know, a big part of that time of the year. And I guess you're prepared to persevere and look beyond the necessary weakness of something more so as a child. But yeah, it got me thinking that if Equal Dave could see the number of games I got sat in my collection right now, he'd just look at me and just go, "You, sir, future self, disgust me." And so yeah, I want to talk about, you know, a few Christmases. I mean, some of these stories you might know anyway, because they kind of popped up in my Mega Drive collection stories and stuff like that. But I remember, was it Christmas '86 where I got Transformers on the ZX Spectrum? That was the only game I got for that Christmas. And originally, the gameplay of it, if you watch the gameplay, you will perfectly understand that even as a child, you know, it's a crap game. I must have played that for weeks. I never did quite complete it though, but I remember I did get one sort of Energon Cube away from completing the Autobot Insignia. But yeah, that was a terrible game with terrible keys, and even as a child I knew it was a terrible game with really bad keys, because it wouldn't let you define, you know, new ones, and we didn't have a joystick back then. But yeah, I played that for weeks, absolutely weeks. Was it just because, you know, that I had no other games? Well, no, we had a catalogue of games, but, you know, there was something exciting about, you know, the one you got for Christmas. I played that for absolutely weeks. I mean, I had some money off my relatives so I could buy more games in the new year, but as a child I didn't see the point. It was, I got this game, I should get the absolute most out of this game. You know, that to me now is just, as I said, maybe I'm the only one who does this, maybe I'm the only one who's absolutely terrible with modern games, but in 1987 I got outrun by US Gold on ZX Spectrum. By no means a terrible version of the game, but by no means a brilliant version of the game. It's alright, you know. It's got that monochromic kind of look of a sort of Enduro Racer in Chase HQ, but the sprite slowdown is appalling. And you had to load the levels in, you know, the stages in. As a racing game, you had to load the stages in every time you completed one. You know, I completed that game. I mean, I loved it in the arcades, but I completed that game. We even used to flip the tape and play the Outrun arcade music on the other side. On the cassette recorder, we just used to load the game. Yeah, I completed it. I must have completed it, you know, 20 odd times. I just played that continuously, well into the new year. I you know, rang every ounce out of that game. And then obviously in 1988 I got my Sega Master System, which I paid for half of. You know, I had some jobs I paid for half of, and so obviously I had some disposable income at this point, and my parents paid for the other half, and it was second hand, so it came with Wonder Boy, Afterburner, and Hang On, which was on the cool little card you stuck in the front, because obviously it was Model 1. Well, only there was no Model 2 at this point in time. I guess I didn't buy a game on that system to spring. You know, I remember I played that Christmas was amazing. I just played it for days and days and days upon end. I was really gutted when, you know, the school year came around again and I had to devote my pesky time to being educated. Oh, what's that shit about? But yeah, I mean, and Afterburner, that's not an easy game to complete, and yeah, I must have completed that loads of times. Wonder Boy, superb game, completed that loads. Hang On, you know, completed that loads, loved it. And at this point I had disposable income, but I just wasn't interested in buying any of the games. You know, what I got for Christmas was good enough. You know, as an adult I would have been long bored at that point and, you know, scratching my pockets, you know, with anticipation of blowing some money on new games. In 1990, and obviously I had my Japanese Mega Drive, I got DJ Boy. I remember Christmas Day with this. I got up at like 6 o'clock. I wasn't even interested in watching the cartoons and stuff on TV. Yeah, and I played this solidly from 6 to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and must have completed it 3 or 4 times, but just kept going back to the start, which is no mean feat. I can't even do that as an adult now, and I remember doing it with somewhat a level of ease back then, but yeah, I had to stop for Christmas lunch. And then I played it for the entire rest of the day, not even, you know, sharing it with my brothers. I just, you know, I played the crap out of this game. You know, again, and obviously I had some money at this point, you know, I didn't even buy anything else in the new year. I don't think I bought anything till February. What was the point? You know, again, I had somewhat for collection, but it was just this bad boy. It was like your current game was the game was the one you played the absolute most until you got another one. Sure, if your mates came over, you would play some of your previous ones, but when I was by myself, I just played the crap out of this game's absolutely fantastic, and plus the Japanese one's not censored. And then in 1991, I got this game, which is Mercs, and this was, yeah, there's 2 versions on there. There's the arcade original, and there's you know, the remix remastered version. Not remastered, is a new game, and this just I mean I must have been what, 14 at this point. I played this all day, every day. I was back and forth in between beating one version and beating the next, beating one version and beating the next, beating one version and beating the next. And again, I didn't go back to any of the previous games unless friends came over, you know, once school started. And once again, when we got to the new year, I could have purchased more games, but you know, you may think from seeing my Mega Drive videos that I've, you know, a kid back then, I purchased quite a lot, but they weren't, you know, bang 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 like that, which is the point I'm trying to make with this video. I just didn't do that back in the day, you know. That's why Christmas was such a wonderful, wonderful time. You know, right now at Christmas these days, if I get multiple games, then I'll just dabble in each and every one of them, probably not complete any of them, and then lose interest in the new year. So yeah, I just curious, you know. Was it the same for you back then? Was it simply because obviously, you know, money was an issue, or you just, that's what you did? The game you got for Christmas, your current game, you just played it and played it and played it and played it. Did we have more of an attention span? You would think we would have less, but yeah. So you know, games lasted weeks and not hours, and that for me would always be the games I got for Christmas. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.